Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, I hope my last video had sound on it. Because it's super duper heavy. It's Capricorn. It's bones deep. It's bones, Capricorn. Saturn rules the bones. Capricorn rules that mountain. That deep inner crust of the earth. Coming up. Okay. Volcanic eruptions. That would be the next one, which is Aquarius. But what's in our bones right now just came to manifest. So our country has a very corrupt history from its inception. Freemasons came here and wanted to create a control mechanism, which they did through Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses and whatever else, carving into stone tablets like they knew how to do. And our country has been genocidal ever since. And we now are on the precipice of either allowing that to happen or shutting it down. And the only way to do that is going within. You have to find all those places within yourself that you are co-creating with death in an unproductive, toxic manner. So all the things you're ingesting that have toxins in them that could cause sickness and death in the body, all the things you're viewing with your eye. We're gonna have a I love me some true crime, baby. So all the things you're viewing with your eyes, how are you inviting that in? You know, if you're one of those first-person shooter computer game people, those are probably the ICE agents. Anyway, and that's fine. You can kick back at me in the freaking comments, but you're just, that's the energy you embody and you create and you invite. Well, if I didn't do that, then I'd be doing. Yeah, that's why I just said it's, yeah, that's what ICE agents are. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, we are co-creating and managing this. It's just we're doing it in a very slot manner, luckily, so we can see through it. However, we do need to find all those ways. Are you listening to violence? Are you speaking violence? Are you you know, are you calm and collected, or you feel like out of control? Are you creating more violence in your environment than is required? Are you... Because sometimes, like, you're like, I gotta get this thing done, and then you hustle through it. That's a form of violence. Hustle is violence. People don't want to talk about that. It did not. I done go to the gym and I punch that back. That's violent. No, hustle is violence. Hustle is getting out of flow and forcing something that's not flow to come in instead. I'm going to paste a lot of people off. But that's one of the, you know, and I'm not saying that like you have to change everything right now, but until you learn to look at it, you're not going to be able to control this energetic outcome that we're about to manifest. So if you do not have access to where you produce that in your own life, please do not use any energy for these next couple weeks with the lunar. Okay. Sounds bad. It's worse than it is. Because we just manifested. And it's like the universe is saying, okay, well, this is what you manifested. How are you going to deal with it? Are you going to be like, oh, wrong order? 8 of water. Walk away. Look up your rights on when it comes to what do you do and do not have to do with ICE. Because it's very little. They are not the police. Everybody online is like, they are too the police. Not. What you do and don't have to do is all over the internet right now. Look it up. And again, I'm not spouting anything because I don't want to misspeak. So, look it up. But they are not the police. Okay? And even then, a lot of people don't know that unless the police have a warrant, you really don't have to comply much with them either. If you're free to go, then you're free to go. Okay? So look up your rights, know your rights, and adhere. Okay? If anything George Floyd has taught Minnesota, nope. That's the thing, is when you give too much power without having the knowledge of what the hell that system is for, and granted, this is why the education system is dwindling. They don't teach children about any of this. They don't teach children about buying houses. They don't teach children how to balance checkbooks. They don't teach children how to fix basic, appliances around the house. They don't tell you how to do maintenance. Nothing. They don't tell you anything about how to live your life with all these codes and mechanisms and whatever the hell else. They're just like, how much is Susie gotta pay Johnny if... Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we are in a state where we just need to get really intimate with all the things and all the ways in which we are comfortable with death. How do we allow it in? How do we allow it out? How do we want to see it play out in society? How are we watching it in real time in our own lives? Are you spending time watching, crap ton of true crime videos? I'm not. I used to be really bad. But it's winter. So I will binge watch some TV shows. So just be diligent about that. Keep that sifting through your system. And if you can get through all of those things before the moon, you should be able to have a real sense of clarity on what you want in this world versus what you don't want. If we can't get real with the big D, Death himself, as an angel, his name is Azazel. And he's not malevolent. He's nothing like that stupid show, Supernatural. He's nothing like that. He's like blonde, curly hair, blue-eyed, ridiculously adorable, pinch your cheeks kind of dude. Okay? And all he's doing is and he has to look that way. Death is not intimidating. If anybody was closest to death, it'd probably be that. What the heck was his face? Sandman. She had a beautiful, warm, Cancerian, warm, welcoming, mothery face. That's kind of how it feels. So again, that pattern's going to show up and look differently for everybody. Mine is basically a freaking large cherub with... So however it shows up for you, but she was pretty accurate too. Like, she had the same feeling, sensation, vibe, even though it looked a little different. It felt the same. And people don't comment. You know what? The energy was the same. Okay? It's that beautiful wisdom, deep inner knowing with that pure innocence. It's Scorpio. Stellium, 12th house. Okay? So don't get it twisted. Death is not scary in any way, shape, or form. Death happens because things need to be reborn. If we stayed stagnant, we die. Death, rebirth, and life is constantly happening inside of us and outside of us. Constantly. We're literally going through death right now. A small death in the nature system. Things need to die so they fall to the ground to be composted so they can be nutrients for later. The same thing will happen to our physical body, but that is no reason to be in a state of petrification unless you believe some crazy ass Scarface Sky Daddy narrative where you're gonna burn in hell. Like, if you don't want to burn in hell, have somebody drop you off at a freaking river and ocean rather than a volcano. You have a right to pick that. I mean, that's the only way. Because the you that is you is going back home into the cosmos. Okay? And there's hell doesn't exist out there. It's all man-made. Okay? So stop letting people hijack your life. Get into your own system and feel everything out. If you're depending and leaning on other people's scripture, narrative, whatever the hell it is, you're going to suffer greatly for the next 10 to 20 years. Greatly. So please, 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 come into your precious sacred body and work from there. Develop your own narrative. And again, if you are getting it from the outside, it is incorrect. Anywhere from the outside. That's why I'm not going to give it to you. No person who seeks healing is going to give it to you. They shouldn't be able to give it to you. It's yours and yours alone. But again, if you've gotten it from the outside world, it isn't yours. It's most likely a very rich, entitled, old, dead man's narrative. Which to me is terrifying in and of itself. That is hell to me. Absolutely. So I get it. But at the same time, dingle dingle. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. Okay? So, find your center. Find your solace. And go, alright, Death, let's have a conversation. Because I'm sick and tired of this BS. Okay. Making choices, but pissed off about the choices. Yeah? Welcome to the collective. Loves you. Okay, so this is... I've got my... I was in meetings again. So I've got my pendulum and all this other stuff out. It's kind of impeding my card process. We get a ruby. I don't... we're just gonna go like that. There we go. Alrighty. Curiosity fire at the bottom of the deck. They're telling me not to take it though. Okay. I am going to move this candle. Okay, let's go this way. There we go. Now I feel like I got enough space. Okay. What else does the collective need to know when we're moving through this whole death processes? And okay, 4 water in the upright. Yeah, learning how to not take outside cups. Now, some people will say that this cup being offered is from God. It is not. It's simply something you manifested, and you're like, shit. I wasn't banking on unalived people in their cars, but yeah. 9 of Earth, realizing, you know, this collective, it's not always sovereign. So you need to, yeah. The Lovers. How you pairing those inner worlds? How you pairing the dualities, the masculine and the feminine? Because it was a masculine unaliving a feminine. So this could have brought up a lot when it comes to do that with that notion. And collectively in the US anyway, we had a lovely little article that came out from Forbes that said our male population, whether it be through family members or partners, 137 a day gets unalived in the US. 137 a day. Partners, family members. Now, that doesn't include coworkers, friends, and acquaintances, and total strangers. That's just those two demographics. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. But look what that. I'm just gonna. I don't know if I feel comfortable speaking on it. So, when we began to kind of get into that. Sorry. Like Ed, we're good. Alright, so when we become aware of this was the intended legacy, this wasn't some fluke, it wasn't an accident, the system is working exactly how it was designed to work. And our energy has been coerced outside of us. We have given up power way too much to a toxified system that is seeking in a multitude of ways to not have us. Okay, so our job is to be like, yeah, thinks I'm good. Okay. So we're realizing what's within us. This is from the bottom of the deck, the ones I showed you from the Ten of Pentacles on. This is what's in our subconscious undercurrent. We have a different agenda than what the meat puppet masters have in mind. Okay? And we're getting curious about how that's going to play out. And we're realizing just how much power we have. Like, we could buck that person off. No problem. Okay. We can go support the communities that need us the most. And protect them. That's what we've been lied to about. So we have a choice in the matter. We always have a choice. And the thing is, they've conned us out of it. They've coerced it out of our grasp and told us that, you know, you're just slave labor here. You don't really matter. Nobody's going to listen to you. And they have not just entrained religious and political parties to treat us that way, but the medical, the educational, all of these different entities, if you do not parakeet their narrative, they are not going to listen to you. If you don't fit inside their teeny tiny box, they are not going to listen to you. Okay? They won't be understanding and compassionate when you come at them with a different angle. They're not going to be comprehending that you fit anywhere outside of their instructed box. So when that happens, they're going to shrug their shoulders and be like, you're the problem. Get out. Okay? But that's an opportunity, because many of us found out that when those institutions were like, go fly one. Right? Like, okay, well, I guess I'm on my own. And then and then they dive in and be like, well, because the doctors couldn't find out, she went on the internet and drank all this horrible, wretched stuff. And that's the problem. If you don't find 3 to 4 trusted sources of completely separate entities saying the same thing, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay? You gotta learn how to do the human homework. Okay? Do not drink hydrogen peroxide. Okay? There's hydrogenated water that's clean, okay? Okay, that's what's on the market right now. Leave the hydrogen peroxide out of it, please and thank you. Okay, not required. It's so expensive. Then you don't need it. Okay. So when we get to that point where the system is like, yeah, no, there's an opportunity to growth outside of it. And the problem is not us, it's the system. And the system is collapsing and crumbling, but it wants to grab everything else and take it with them. Okay? So this is energetic patterns, just reading energetic patterns, okay? Wants to take everything with them, okay? Not a good gig. Not a good gig. Not a good gig. So the patriarchal systems that are now, I just saw a contemplation of doctors that are now quitting entirely, and the South is going to suffer tremendously because this, the southern states were told you are not allowed to let women's health be any way, shape, or form catered to. So no shit. They had to pack their bags for a freaking paycheck. Thanks for playing. Game over. When I tell you that the Y chromosome is so shriveled that if you were to pluck it out of the male figure, put it into a petri dish, and shove it over to a white coat, they could not tell you what it was. It is so crumpled. So here's the big X, and the Y chromosome is crumpled into just a ball of blah. Okay? So we're going to have to come to terms with the fact that this isn't going to register for them because of where they are as a collective. There's 24% of Americans right now, and most of them are male, and the other one is Pearl, okay? I don't think Kristi Noem is a bot. I'm convinced. I can't. Okay? So I got nothing on that front. But when we have a severe deficit of human nature falling to the wayside, expecting things to go any way, shape, or form how previously they've gone is off the table, which is creating new opportunities to move forward in different roads, in different avenues, and explore new things. Completely new things. Nothing from, yes, take the wisdom from grandmama, but we need to also be open to new possibilities. And I'm not talking science here. Okay, Francis Bacon created the scientific method. And if you hadn't noticed, it has created so much death on the planet. It is now the leading cause. Top 5 causes of death, at least in the US, are all science-based. And a lot of those people are on medication when they do die. Okay. Having to look at death, which is my area of expertise, unfortunately. But this is what I'm saying, is having to look at all those avenues and going, okay, we're just going to start building something else. We can see the pattern that got us here. We can acknowledge the toxicity that not only killed the physical, but it killed our spiritual selves, it killed our mental selves, it killed our financial selves, it killed our whatever cells, it demolished. It was all pervasive, okay? All pervasive. All right. So, and in the male mind, we really aren't alive, which is why they're completely okay with us not being alive. It's terrible. It's a horrible thing to have to admit, but there's too many out there to just brush that aside and be like, well, it's not all men. Great. it's a very small portion that don't believe that, unfortunately, because we just had it manifest in front of our faces. That yes, the majority of the energy being pushed out believes this, and so it manifested, and now at least 24% of the US population is like, yeah, it's fine. Totally justified. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Before you hop on the manifestation train, you make sure that you vetted yourself. Okay, real good. Real good. Lest we further this into something we don't want to see. Now, it could be that that's what you want to see, and that's what you're furthering on the planet, and that's what you're willing to put all your pentacles into, in which case, sign up for all the Amazons and the Spotifys, and you know, yada, yada, yada. Peace out, Girl Scout. And that, you know, depending on where it goes from here, we might be having a discussion on who, when, what, where needs to leave the U.S. ASAP. Okay? Because I'm not uplifting a system that's like, yay, genocide. I'm not paying into that system at all. Peace out, Girl Scout. You freaking off your rocker if you think I'm gonna sit here and give you any of my freaking pentacles to fucking unalive people in the streets. That's fucking ludicrous. I can't believe that Minnesota has not called for, we're gonna stop paying all the things, because like $100 billion through I don't know how many years got shuffled over to Saudi Arabia of their taxpayer money. Can't imagine why they need such a distraction, but here, you know, there's different ways to do distractions, so how it shows up matters. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, is like, if you can in any way, shape, or form, and your whatever will allow it, and you can comprehend that, like, yeah, I can recover from some credit hit, but I can't do it from the bottom of a mass grave. Holding back and looking at, yeah, the Ace of Air, unclear, the Elder in reverse. Not letting that old school stuff get in your ear. Out sideways, cave, sovereignty of water. So the Queen of Water, you don't know how to feel either. More. Thank you. The Moon, what's in your you know what's in your subconscious, and you're about to explore that. Yeah, it was black magic. You are absolutely correct. Okay. What we fail to see is that we put that on the wheel, and you know, the reason why the Abrahamics want you so terrified of witches is not just because they might know some healing modalities, they might know about some herbs, they might know how to get you into a better frame. And of course, there's the ones out there that just want to fuck around and find out. They're all about fucking around and finding out, thinking that, you know, whatever blah 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 is going to escape them. It doesn't. Don't let them twist your mind. Okay? And that's, you know, that might be part of their calling, is to put that in your path so you learn how to get safe in your body. Sometimes those types of entities that exist like this are just there going, do I trust myself, or do I put my power in another person? Because these people are around going, well, if you're going to give up your power, I'll take it gladly. That's fine. I'll take it away from you. You volunteered as tribute? Oh, heck yeah. You want to manifest some more of this? Absolutely. I'll take your power if you don't want to claim it for yourself. And that's what denying the shadow, denying all the aspects of your true self, that's how they get in. When you're in denial, when you're spiritually bypassing, that makes you weak. That makes you extremely weak and susceptible to complete and utter corruption. And thus manifesting their agenda into the streets for them by default. So get real courageous, find your gonads, and get that systematic, I believe XYZ should be unalived or not breathing anymore because ABC, whatever it is. Find it, break it, burn it, or however you want to do it. Okay? Because that's how they get in. Is you're allowing that narrative run through your system. And that's a lot to do with the Abrahamics, any political narrative, scientific narrative where women shouldn't have rights. 5 of fire in reverse, curiosity of fire in reverse, and the 5 of air in reverse. That's a lot of feisty energy in reverse. So you are getting calm in your body, but you're also getting really pissed off and upset and hurt feelings. And the 4 of fire, not in celebration. So maybe you're one of the ones that's not going to, you're going to help prevent a fire by, or tower, you're going to help prevent a tower by not engaging in the energies because you're like, I am so fucking living right now, I can't manifest anything. And that's okay. That's fucking brilliant. That's how you use that wisdom and cultivate it forward. And the beauty about not putting energy into moons, which I'll, if it doesn't resonate with me, I won't do it. I will not work with the energies if I'm just like not feeling it. And that's harnessing and saving energy up for the next time. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing to do. Forgot to mention that in the last video, but here we are. So just remember that, like, just because you're not partaking in this one doesn't mean you're not going to be supercharged for the next one. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep yourself safe, sovereign. Breathe. Take that opportunity to get into the breath and just say, whoever is doing work, I support you, right? I support the narrative being uplifted right now to shift us in a different direction other than a massive unaliving in the streets. So, okay. Nope, we're good. We're good. Nothing. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. Oop, there it is. Okay. You can still celebrate and love yourself. Okay. You don't need to be all, oh, I can't. Still love yourself. Celebrate life. Celebrate life. Like, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have the chair beneath me, the bum to sit on it, tailbone to hold me up, my beautiful real estate between my ears, the lovely little patties, all that good stuff. Whatever is available to you. You can see, you can smell, you can hear, you can taste. All those beautiful things that we take for granted. Start getting grateful for those things, okay? So, yes, it's difficult and a challenge to deal with, but at the same time, if we do it, how we make it through this.